in this morning. Just welcome all y'all to go along with us on this little hunt and see if we can have a race and just enjoy the morning. Just enjoy being out here with the dogs. We got 5 out here this morning. We got Train and Tank back out here, and Willow, Queen, and Buster. We didn't bring Mindy today. But hopefully we can have better luck than we did the other day when we was on here. We never did get a race, but we had one good one so far this morning, so I think we should jump one somewhere or another. Dogs are hunting good this morning. They're staying right in the brush. We got a good dew on this morning. Grass and everything's all good and wet, so they should be able to run a rabbit today. Which I think we still need some more rain. This ground's still pretty dry. But hopefully we can jump 1 or 2 anyway. Hopefully we at least have one little race. I was planning on being on here a couple more times this week, but stuff come up and we ain't been hunting much the last couple of days, so hopefully we can put several days in next week. We'll try to hunt Frank a day or 2 next week and see how he does, see if we can get him a going. The dogs are hunting right back through there in that brush. Yeah. A couple of them's pretty good ways back in there, and are actually Tank and them went down through there. And Train and them was back here behind us. Tank and Queen coming back there. Train and them's right over in there. My allergies are still messed up. I went to the doctor over them yesterday, so hopefully in the next couple of days they'll get better. This change in the weather and stuff kills my allergies. There's Willow and the Queen pup. Day will be their last day. Unless he decides to keep them on for another couple of weeks or a month. But I'd say they'll go home and we'll get some new ones next day or 2. I figured they should jump a rabbit down through here somewhere. Temperature's dropping down into the 50s of the morning, so it's a lot nicer on these dogs hunting right now. Tank's still doing good. I'd like to see him start opening up good on a track, but that's the only trouble we're having with him. One or two evenings next week, if we have time. I ain't gonna say we'll have time. I'd like to take him, just him and maybe one other dog, and see if that helps him get in there on the track a little bit. I talked to the guy that owns the other two pups that's out of that litter, and he's hunted his a lot more than I have mine. He said his is running good on the outside. So I think Tank will too, just a matter of keeping him out here and getting him enough experience on him to get him started. Because he's a hunting good. Get in there, boy. I think he's going to make a real nice dog. Looks like they're all down through here. Good morning. Welcome on here to our little rabbit hunt this morning. We're hoping we have at least one little race this morning. My plans is to be back on here Monday if nothing don't come up, but we're in Kentucky. Yeah, we're in the state of Kentucky rabbit hunting this morning, which is where we hunt every morning. This place ain't about less than 5 minutes from my house or something. I'm very lucky and blessed to have a good running like this, and this is close to the house that I don't have to I heard that. This is where I've always lived, is in Kentucky. I ain't never been nowhere else first. I've always lived in Kentucky. I've always liked Kentucky, so. It sounds like we're going to have a little bit of a race anyway. Or we've had a couple of barks anyway, I'd say. They'll probably run up right on top and it'd be hard to hear them. Yeah, what I've heard about California and stuff, I don't think I would like it down there, but I can't say that because I've never been there, but which I don't know why I wouldn't like being nowhere around the cities and stuff. I have to be out in the country. I don't want to be in the cities and stuff. I have way too many animals to be in any part of a town or anything. I keep counting my dogs and everybody else's. I keep anywhere from 15 to 20 some dogs there at the house at one time. I got 11, I think, not counting Martha's pups. She's got 9. Then I usually, right now, I've got three dogs that belongs to other people, and sometimes I'll have up to 10 or 15. I don't know if y'all been keeping up with Martha's pups or whatever. She had 10, and she lost one of them. We're down to 9 now. Which I figure with that big a litter, she may lose a few of them. I don't think they're going to do nothing with that rabbit neither. No, I've never seen Bigfoot. We've been running back here, and people online here has claimed that we's running Bigfoot, but now I've never seen no signs or no sign of him nowhere. But out here in the woods, anything's possible. I hear. Let's move them on down through here and see if we can't get them on one that they can jump and run. Come on, I hear. Get in here, Trey. Get in here. Get in there. I don't know what happened with that one, but now he opened on it, but he just couldn't do nothing with it. Usually do pretty good just right on down through here, Jeff and one. Get our other dogs down through here. Right here! I don't like them young dogs wandering off on their own. I like for them to stay with this older dog. Sometimes them young dogs gets in trouble by themselves. Right here! Right here! But Tank's been doing pretty good, I think, for no more than he's been hunted. I'd say we ain't hunted him 4 or 5 times. Maybe a little more than that, but sometimes it's just have evenings for a few minutes, but he ain't been hunting much. Right here! Right here! Right here! Yeah, I don't like these young pups getting off hunting on their own. I like for them to stay with us. Come on, right here! Right here! Right here! Hopefully they'll come on down through here. Right here! Get in there, Trey. Buster's coming, but the other two ain't coming. Right here! Yeah, we'll worry about them later. We'll look like they was headed towards the truck, but they'll train and them just in here and jump to one. They'll roll back in here. This is usually a real good spot right in here from the jump one. The tank gets off and hunts on his own and everything. He's about 150 yards up through there. So I mean, he's a doing good. He just needs a little more experience. I figure they might jump one right over in there. Thought we was gonna have a race back there, but they never could line it out. I don't know if it's a little small rabbit. What? We was over on the other side. I can't remember if it was the morning or evening. I think it was the evening. We jumped one that wasn't much bigger than a hamster, and I figured all of them was getting great big. But now I guess they've had a litter not too long ago, because that wasn't very big at all. Train and Buster's about 40 some yards in there. This tank opened up there. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, but I guess we'll see if Train will back him and run with him. If he jumps it and runs with it. He may be a barking some with them, and I just can't hear him where we've got so many dogs in there. But that's him open there. I don't know if it's right or not, but that's him open. He may be opening on a bigger rabbit than he's supposed to be. But he's just 8 months old, so anything's possible with these young dogs. That ours got in trouble a time or two. The little female's worse than he is. I think I've got them pretty well straight right now. I ain't had no trouble with them for a few days. We're gonna holler at Tank. I don't want him to get over in there and get on something he ain't supposed to be. I hear. She just pulled 2 or 3 barks, but I was hoping Train would jump one back over in there. We can't hunt Bean right now. She's with pups, so. And where Rose had Lyme disease, we really don't want to hunt her for another week or so. Been starting to run her some in the lot, but that's just a few minutes at a time. Let her kind of get muscled back up. Where she got that Lyme disease, she hit her pretty hard there. So she acts fine. I mean, she acts like she could do whatever, but I figured we'd run her in a lot of evenings, about an hour at a time or 30 minutes or something. Well, Train may gonna jump one there. We've been running her a little bit of evenings, that way kind of get her toughened back up, then we'll start bringing her back out here too. I'm hoping he can jump this one. Morning, welcome on here this morning to our little rabbit hunt. He's a killing me if these 1 or 2 barks and not going on with it. Looks like Willow's coming back. Her and Queen both. I figured they would once they got over the little mad spell. They went to the truck when I was trying to get them to come back in, and usually they'll do that a time or two, then they'll get over it and they'll learn that they got to come wherever I'm at when I holler. They've heard Train bark there and they're coming back in here. I hear. Hopefully they'll come on down in here. I wish he'd jump that rabbit. So we can have a race this morning. Get in here, Train. You ain't gonna jump at him. Get in there. Here's Willow on them. Yeah, they're 50-some yards. Right there comes Queen. Right here. Oh, there's Willow. Right here! There she comes. Well, hopefully let's see if they can jump one somewhere else. And we was talking about where we didn't jump one the other evening. We was out here just much more, and I got off live. We stopped recording. They jumped one. We went on just a little piece and had a good little race. We'll jump one somewhere or another shortly. That's a real little spot right in there where they're hunting at. They're kind of round up on top there, looks like. Yeah, we did get some rain. It rained that whole day the next day, but this ground's still dry. I mean, it just soaked it right up. You know, the grass stuff's wet this morning from the dew, but this ground still, I mean, it's still dry, isn't it? We ain't had no rain this long. It's gonna take a while to get this ground wet. But it rained that whole day, and which then it rained just kind of misted around the next morning. But we, like I said, the ground's still dry. You got some water, standing in low spots or something, but it's still dry though. It'll probably take 2 or 3 days to ever get this ground back soft where it's been so dry so long. And I think that's one of our problems. It was the ground so dry and hard, a lot of that rain just run off. It didn't soak in. Train them's right over in there. I think Queen's, well, right there's Willow and Queen. I went Buster. But we having a time trying to jump one this morning, I know that. We may hit some new spots next week and see what kind of running we can have. I can pull our chaps out and we can go back in there too, but I gotta have chaps on before we can go back in there. I just see a whole lot of ground back through there that we can run it we normally don't run, so we may do that Monday morning. We got 5 out here this morning. We got Train and Tank and Buster, Queen, and Willow this morning. Been bringing Mindy, but we didn't bring her today. We just got 5 this morning. And about all of them's pups. Yeah, that's my buddy's dog. Now my wife's wanting to name one of hers Buster too. If these pups live, she wants the one that's named Buster. So yeah, I guess everybody's got to have one named Buster. Train's hanging right in there, but he's right back through that brush right there. About 80 yards, but he's having a terrible time trying to jump on this one. Looks like Tank's right with him. I wouldn't never thought as cool as it was this morning and heavy as dew we've got, we'd have any trouble jumping a rabbit, but we sure ain't had no luck. Sometimes I think they're camera shy. Just sure as we're on live, you can't jump a rabbit, and sure as you turn it off, they'll jump one. The other evening we was out here hunting and couldn't jump one, and as soon as I got off recording, they jumped one in just 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, that's what we try to run is, field trial style dogs. I've not been running none here lately. I'm wanting to go try the NKC trials, but we just ain't. We've had a lot of stuff going on. I ain't never made it up there to hunt during one of them, but I used to hunt UKC trials, but we ain't been running none here lately. But I'd like to. Get in here, Train. But hopefully they can jump on here in a few minutes. We can't stay on here too much longer, but hopefully we can stay on here long enough to at least have a race. I don't want two videos with no race with it. It's spider web. They're Feister style dogs. Because they score on drive and line. So you need a dog that's like when they cross a path, you want a dog that's up there in the front. So you want the Feister style dogs and, then a slower dog. Not real sure on the NKC, but I think they're, you kind of got to have a Feister dog too on them, but they score a little different than UKC. So like I said, I've never hunted them. I just know how my buddies talks and stuff. They, their main score is when they break down and pick the rabbit back up is how they score them. And UKC scores on lines. And you see a rabbit cross and they score each one of them dogs as they go across that line. And I've run UKC, a lot. Oh yeah, these dogs are breeds out there now is a lot faster than what they was years ago. But I can't say nothing. I like a fast dog too. I like a dog when they're running, they can run with their head up, not have to run with that nose on the ground. It's all right for them to put that nose on the ground when they're trying to jump on or when they're broke down or something, but when they're actually running, I want them to run with the head up. Yeah, you can have a dog registered in UKC, AKC, NKC. You can register them in all of them, but to register them in AKC, their mommy and daddy had to be registered in AKC. You can't just register anything under AKC. Now in UKC and NKC and PKC too, you can register anything as long as it looks like a Beagle hound, and they'll examine it and stuff, and as long as it's the right height and all that, they'll register it. Yeah, I don't have nothing that ain't AKC registered. All mine are AKC, at least AKC registered. I won't buy a dog if it ain't AKC registered. Then I can register in UKC or NKC, whatever I want. The main one is AKC. Tank's about 140 yards in there. Right here! I don't want him getting that fur off by himself. Right here! He could get out there and get in trouble. Right here! Right here! I'm hoping next week we have a lot better running than we've had this week. The last 2 days we've been on here, we've struggle to death trying to jump a rabbit. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if we've just run this place to death or what, but. Right here! What I was talking about, if I had I can start bringing my chats back and we can go right back up in there, hunt way back around, all the way around through there, that we normally don't hunt, and that may help us a lot. Right here! Tank's gonna be a dog that hunts, so I mean I like that he hunts like that by himself, but I'd rather for him to stay close to us, that way I can tell he ain't getting in trouble. Right here! Right here! Right here! Train's right up in there. Surely we'll jump one up through here. We usually always jump one up through here. Right here! Come on! Right here! We usually always have pretty good luck jumping one up through here. Get in here, Train. Get in here. Tanks are coming. There he is. Didn't take him too long to come back. We usually always jump one up this little section here, so I'm hoping we can this morning. Train's over in there about 50 yards. So we've got a couple of them right up in there. I wasn't planning on it taking us this long to jump a rabbit this morning. And it's sure, we've been a while trying to, we're on here almost 45 minutes, and ain't had but just a bark or two. Get in here, Tank. Get in there. Tank, right here. Come on, right here. Try to get him on up through this little section here. That's where we usually jump one at up through there, so. Come on, right here. I'm coming right on up through here. I figure sure we'll jump one up through here somewhere. Get in here, Train. Get in here. Get in there. And we've got a big dew on. The grass is good and wet, and it's cool this morning. You'd think we'd be jumping all kinds of rabbits. We ain't had a bit of luck. And they ain't staying in the brawlers. They're staying right in the brawlers, but we just ain't had no luck of jumping anything. Well, we jumped a bird. I don't think that counts, though. I don't know if that was a quail or what that was. That's what it looked like. I think I'm gonna have to wait till they actually jump one before we start recording, so I know we'll have a race. I hate doing videos and never get a race out of them, but I guess that's part of hunting. But I still like to have a little race or something when we get on here. I hear him whining, so we're fixing to find out if he can do anything with this one. Usually you hear him whining, it ain't long till he opens. I hear you on that. It's sure been tough the last couple of days we've been out trying to jump one. He ain't never whimpered or done nothing anymore, so I don't know if he's gonna do any good with this one or not. We gotta watch up through here. There's a big hornet's nest up through here. See it? Tank, right here. You get around that damn hornet's nest and stir it up and cause me to get eat up through here. That's the only thing I worry about coming up through here. One of them dogs get around that nest and make them mad and bring them back to me. Well, they're still hunting over in there, but now we ain't heard no bark yet. I figured sure they'd jump one over in there. I heard him start whining a little bit there. There's one of them. It's trained there. But there's a rabbit. There's a tank barking there. The rabbit was sitting right there beside us and didn't even see it. He's opening now. Right here. Right here. That's the only trouble we get into these fast dogs. They overrun the track, son. Right here. Train. Right here. They wanted to run some more than some bad. Right here. Right here. Train. They wanted to run so bad this morning. They wanting to overrun everything. Train. Right here. At least we having a little bit of a race anyway. Train, right here. Right here it is, right here. Right here. Train, right here. Train, right here. Get in here. Get in here. Right here. Train. The other time you'd listen. Right here. That rabbit come out and cut right back and in there. It would have crossed. Train, right here. Right here. Right here. Train, right here. Right here it is. Right here. Get in there, Tank. The other time I can put him right where I want him, and he'll listen and go. Train! Right here it is, right here! Train! Right here it is, right here! Right here! If you get back in there, you'll find it. Well, I was glad to see your big tank pup opening up on that track. I'd say that rabbit run right over top of him. I don't know where that rabbit's double back, if they're ever going to pick it back up or what, but it don't look like it. They can't find it for nothing. Get in there. Get in there, Train. Well, I think we'll call it a day here. At least we've had one little race. I was hoping that we'd have a whole lot better day than this, but it ain't been too bad. We've enjoyed being out here with the dogs and got to see Tank opening up on the track. So we've had a pretty good day. So hopefully the next day will be better, though. Just want to thank y'all for being on here with us and for all your comments and likes. And if you ain't part of the channel, join the channel. And we're all time out here either doing live hunts or uploading videos. So we'll see you on the next hunt.